Hey everybody, Yankee here. For those of you out there that know how to use a calendar, you're probably aware that the 4th of July is quickly coming upon us. And that means a lot of people out there are going to be getting invited to things like family reunions, picnics, cookouts, barbecues, if you will. Or at least you will be if you have friends or family that actually like you. I myself will be doing nothing on July 4th because I haven't been invited to anything. Now, people who know me, my friends, they often say, well, we don't invite you because we know you don't want to be invited. You don't want to come. And that's garbage. I definitely want to be invited. They're right, I'm not going to come, but I'd still like to be invited. But for those of you that are going to be going to things, you know, hey, this is a perfect chance to break out the old barbecue gun. And people have been asking me, hey, Yankee, what do you think are the best barbecue guns? And for those of you that are not familiar with what a barbecue gun is, it's a gun that you don't normally carry. Maybe it's a little flashier than what you would normally carry, a little more expensive, or just rare. You know, there's all kinds of guns to choose from that make great barbecue guns. Everything from classic old Lugers all the way up to gold-plated guns and guns made out of meteorites. In fact, there's so many fancy guns, it's impossible to narrow it down to a little list of them from all the things that are out there. But one thing I can do is I can create a list of the guns that I think are great barbecue guns that I liked well enough that I actually purchased them. So what I'm going to do right now is my top 5 list of the best barbecue guns for the 4th of July. Now, before I get started, I want to do an honorable mention here. This gun just barely didn't make the list, but it is a great option for anyone for a barbecue gun. And it is a stainless Ruger Vaquero. The Vaqueros are beautiful guns to begin with, and when you add in this high-polished stainless finish, especially on the Bisley model here that has the much nicer hammer on it here, this is just a beautiful gun to have in your holster for any barbecue when you want to look really nice. Because these are, like I said, classic, but they're also classy. And they look good in a holster for any special occasion. So you can't go wrong with one of these high-polished Ruger Vaqueros. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's start with number 5, my 5th favorite gun to take to a barbecue. In this case, it's kind of a simple little gun. It's one a lot of people wouldn't suspect. It is a small revolver that, even though it is small, it holds 6 rounds of .357 Magnum, and it can be quite pretty. And that is the Colt King Cobra, my Colt King Cobra. And this just isn't any old Colt King Cobra. This is one that's been polished to a high shine by Patriot Gun Polishing. This is the one I go to when I want something that's not real big, but I want something that's very pretty and has a touch of class. This one, as you can see, like I said, has been high polished, and the hammer, trigger, and ejector rod have been tin coated. That's T-I-N. Gives it that gold plated look, which is very fancy. And it's touched off here with a pair of really nice grips that I believe are genuine rosewood, and I do believe they are from Eagle Grips. And that's number 5, my Colt King Cobra that's been touched up by Patriot Gun Polishing. All right, now at number 4, we have a gun that is a great combination of beautiful and a very powerful workhorse of a gun. And it is my Smith & Wesson 29 engraved. I've just always loved a Smith & Wesson 29. It's hard to beat that blued finish on the big, powerful 44 Magnum revolver. And in this case, it's an absolutely beautiful gun. That blued finish, along with the engraving and the really nice wooden grips that I do believe are from Altamont, just makes for an overall beautiful gun. Like I said, this is a showpiece, and this is a gun you'd want in your holster at any special event. So this is gun number 4 that I would choose if I was going to a barbecue. All right, now at number 3, in the middle of the pack, we have the newest addition to my family, which, even though it's not a special edition or anything, it's still a beautiful gun, and that is my Colt 4¼ inch blued Python. Now, this is undoubtedly the least fancy of the guns that I'm choosing because, like I said, this has had nothing special done to it. It's just a regular 4-inch Colt Python or 4¼ inch Colt Python with a blued finish on it. No special engravings, none of that. No high polishing with a special gold accent or anything. Just a standard blued Colt Python. But you know what? You don't get much more beautiful than that. This is just a downright gorgeous gun. I especially love the dark wood grips with the gold medallion in the grips to go with the dark finish. This gun just looks really good, and the bluing is exceptional on this. It is better than the bluing you saw on the Model 29. It's just a step above. And the gun itself is also beautiful. The Python is well known for its design, not just its precision and its intricacy. It is known to be a great looking gun. They really knocked it out of the park with the design. So even though this one, like I said, is pretty much just a plain old blued Colt Python, never thought I'd actually say that, a plain old blued Colt Python. But even though it is that, it's still one of the most beautiful guns I own, and it is in third place as far as guns I would choose to be in my holster if I was going to a fancy barbecue. All right, now at number 2, we have a gun that might surprise some people. They probably wouldn't think one of these guns would be on this list, but this one is kind of special, and it is. It's my second favorite barbecue gun. It is my Ruger GP100. Like a lot of the guns on this list, except of course for that last Python, this gun has been fancied up a little bit. It's not just a plain old GP100. This model has the engraving and the very nice target style grips here. This gun is just really nice looking. It doesn't matter whether it's a Ruger or what. This gun is exceptionally good looking in a holster. You put this on your hip and you've got a gun that is going to draw attention. They did a really good job with this. I love the engraving coupled with the stainless steel and the lighter wood grips, and I love the flat top design on the gun. So when it comes right down to it, it might just be a Ruger and it might just be a GP100, but this is, in my mind, the best a GP100 can be, and it's a gun that I think, like I said, is as beautiful as any other gun when you put it in a holster. And it is my GP100 engraved edition, and it is number 2 on my list of guns that I'd be happy to have in my holster at any kind of fancy event. All right, now we are at number 1 on the list of what I think are my best barbecue guns. And I don't think this one's going to surprise anyone because I've said many times, this is the most beautiful gun I own. I think this would impress more people than any other gun I could carry. And it is my engraved Colt Python. And once again, this is not just an average Colt Python. As I said a moment ago, this is my Altamont engraved Colt Python. This has a very intricate engraving on it. It is engraved from front to back, and it's not just light scratched into the surface engraving. It's very dimensional, very nice looking. It makes this gun look like it's telling a story. It's got such detailed engraving on it, and I find it to be incredibly beautiful. I would actually love to have another one of these, not this exact size or pattern, but another one from Altamont, and hopefully in the future I will have one. But this gun is, like I said, probably the best looking gun I own, in my opinion. There's just not any that come before this one. When I saw this one at SHOT Show, I had to have this gun, and I haven't regretted buying it for 1 second because it is still to this day probably my favorite gun when it comes to just looks, and it's on one of my favorite platforms. That engraving is on one of my favorite guns, the Colt Python. So how can you go wrong with it? It's just beautiful from front to back, from any angle. It's an awesome looking gun. I know some people will say, I don't like engraving. And to those people, I'll say, you're knuckin' futz, because this gun is awesome. It's just, like I said, the most beautiful gun I own. This is a gun that I would never be ashamed of being seen carrying. In fact, if you're going to wear this in your holster, you better be going somewhere nice, because this is a special gun, and an event would have to be very special itself to warrant carrying this gun. This is my number 1 choice for barbecue guns, guns I would wear to any type of fancy event, my Altamont engraved Colt Python. All right, there you have it. That's my list of my top 5 barbecue guns for the 4th of July. So as you can see, I am set gun-wise. Now, I just got to get invited somewhere.